Well, hey you, in this video, I'm going to show you how to properly edit Camtasia video, and I'm going to show you in just under 10 minutes. For you, that means you don't need to waste any time. Everything you need to know is going to be laid out for you step by step in this video. Okay, so in this lesson, I'm going to show you how to edit video in Camtasia, which means we're going to spend all of our time focused on this bottom area, the timeline in Camtasia. So I already have a clip added here to the timeline, and let's begin by talking about tracks. So you're going to see that I have two different tracks in the timeline right now, and you can actually use an unlimited number of tracks in Camtasia, but on this first track, I have a video recording that I have already made. And the first thing you can do with tracks is you can go to the line by the track, and you can adjust the size of it. So I'll make this track a little bit bigger like that. Then you'll see this row of icons in the track. This first one is the lock icon. And if I go ahead and click on him, that means that I will not be able to edit any of the media on the track. So I'll go ahead and unlock him. Next, we have this magnet guy. Okay, so what does he do? Okay, well, real quick, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to split or actually remove part of the video. So now you can see I have two clips here. If I go to the magnetize option right here and I click on him, what's going to happen is, boop, those clips are automatically pulled together. And now if I go ahead and let's say remove another part of the video, you're going to see that they will automatically be scooched together every time you remove a portion of the video on the track. Okay, and I switched everything back to the default. And finally, we have this guy right here, which is going to be the disable. And what this guy is going to do is it means that not only can we not edit anything on this track, but this track is not going to appear up here in the canvas window either. If I turn him back on, boop, everything returns to normal. Okay, so next we're going to go up to this tiny row of icons right here in the timeline. And this first guy allows me to adjust the height of all of the tracks at the same time. The guy right next to him, what he's going to do is he's going to return my playhead home. For example, my playhead right now is right here. If I click on him, boop, it automatically goes home. Next, I've got the plus button, which allows me to add more tracks. And this is also the perfect opportunity to talk about this guy right here, which is going to be the undo option, which will undo whatever we just did. In that example, it undid me adding a track. Or optionally, I could go over and redo it. But I'll go back and undo it once more. Okay, below that plus button, we have this caret. And if we click on him, you're going to see by default, it's either going to add a quiz or a marker. So what's going on with this? Well, first we'll talk about quizzes, because in Camtasia, at certain points of your video, you could add a quiz. So I have quiz selected right here. And now you'll notice when I move my cursor below the timestamps, I have this green button. So if I go to right here, and I click plus, I have the ability to add a quiz, which will appear right here in the video. Well, how do you create that quiz and add questions and answers? Well, if you look over here in the side panel, you're going to see where you can set up all of your quiz options. But I'm going to go over and undo the quiz, and I'll change this guy to a marker instead. And it's going to work the same way, except the little icon is going to be blue. So if I click right here, I can add a marker. Well, what's a marker? It's really just a note to yourself about maybe a specific edit that you did to the video, or really anything else that you want to add, again, as just a note to yourself so you know what you did and why. And again, over here in the side panel, you can go ahead and name that marker, but I'm going to go ahead and undo him as well. And if you want to remove the marker and the quiz entirely, just go to the caret and click. Okay, so now I'm going to go down and click on the video that I have here, and that's going to enable our other options right here. First, we have the cut option. So for example, if I were to click on him, that's going to remove everything that was selected. But I'm going to go ahead and undo that. Next, we have the copy option. So if I click on him, whatever I have selected here has been copied, and now I can go to the guy next to him, which is going to be paste. If I click on him, you're going to see I duplicated that track, or rather that video. But I'm going to get rid of him, so I'm going to click on him and just hit the delete key. Then I'll select my track again. And now what I'm going to do is go to my playhead and pull it across, let's say to right here. And let's say at this point that I wanted to split this clip in two, which is something you're commonly going to be doing in editing. What you'll do is click on this guy right here. That's going to split that clip. Now that clip is in two and can be moved independently. But I'm going to go ahead and undo that now that we know what it does. And then next we have the magnifying glass and the slider right here. And what this does is it zooms in or zooms out on the timeline. And what you can do is click the magnifying glass and it's automatically going to zoom in. So everything is going to be displayed in your view on the timeline. If you want to reduce this, boop, go out like that. I can click right there. That's going to zoom everything so everything is in view on the timeline. And then finally, we've got this guy over here, which is going to detach the timeline from Camtasia. So if I go ahead and click on him, you're going to see the timeline has changed. And now I can grab him and pull him down, and I could resize the top window so I have more real estate to work with on my screen. If I want to reconnect everything again, once again, I go ahead and click on the same icon and everything gets attached again. Now let me demonstrate some of the things that you'll find yourself doing over and over again when editing video in Camtasia. Okay, the first thing is you're likely going to need to edit out the very beginning of your video. So you can see right here, this squiggly line here is called a waveform, and this is where my voice appears in the video. And this provides us a terrific visual cue as to where we might need to do an edit. So I know right here, all of this stuff, this is the beginning of my video and I need to get rid of it. So I can just move my playhead to here, click, and then click and drag, and that will remove that portion. Okay, there's other ways we can do this as well. For example, if I move my playhead right here, I showed you the split command that we can use, but a faster way is to use the green and red bars that are attached to the playhead. So what I'm going to do here is click on the red bar, pull him across, and now what I want to do is delete all of this section right here. And to do that, all I have to do is hit the delete key. But you'll notice I still have that space in between there, and I'd like it to pull these two clips together. Is there a way that we could do that? Well, yeah, there is. So let me undo everything I've done. And now instead of hitting the delete key, what I can do is right click with my mouse. And when I do that, you're going to see this contextual menu, and I can choose ripple delete range. And when I do that, boop, it not only deletes that section, but pulls everything together. So that ripple delete range is very similar to this magnetize option over here. And then if I move through my video some more, at the end here, I need to cut all of this stuff off. So I could just grab the end and pull it like that. Or I could come up here, choose split, and then highlight that and delete it. Or what I could do is I could just grab my red here, pull him across, right click and choose ripple delete range. Now, one thing to point out when you're using this red and green bar and you're selecting area in your video, you might find yourself kind of stuck where it's like, how do I get everything back to where it was? In other words, you made a mistake and you just want to put the red and the green together and everything goes back to normal. All you have to do is go to the playhead, double click on him, and everything joins back together. Now, if I want to add more video to the timeline, I'm just going to go up to the media section, which we haven't talked about yet, but I can just grab a clip and I can pull him down here. Now, it's important to note that if I pull it to the track above like this, whatever track is on top has priority. That means whatever track is on top is going to cover the track below it. In this example, I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to pull him down to the same track like this, and then I can pull my playhead over and I can go about editing this clip the same way. And once I have it all edited, I can just grab him and pull him next to this clip right here, and everything will be nice and smooth in our video. If you find yourself needing to adjust the volume level of your audio, make sure you've got your clip selected, make sure that the properties panel is expanded, and you can go to the audio tab, and this is where you can adjust the audio for that track. You can see those waveforms going down and going up as I increase and decrease the audio. And if you needed to adjust the video sizing, again, I can go to the video tab, and this is where we can change the scale, the opacity, rotation, position, and all that good stuff. Now, the final thing I want to talk about is stitching. Okay, well, what's that? Well, I have these two clips right here. They came from the same screen recording, and remember, I cut out that portion that I didn't want. But right now, these are independent of each other. I can move these around independently. What if I want to join these back together so they are essentially one clip again? Well, what I can do is make sure that both of them are selected, then I can right click, and you'll see this option, Stitch Selected Media. And when I do that, boop, now they are one again. And just as a side note, in the preferences settings for Camtasia, you can tell Camtasia to automatically stitch all of your clips this way. On the Mac version of Camtasia, you'll find this option under the timeline options in preferences. And on the Windows version of Camtasia, it will be available under the programs option in Camtasia. However, when it comes to stitching, please note that you can only stitch together clips that came from the same recording. For example, these are two different recordings right here. So if I were to highlight both of them and right click, I would not have the stitch option. And there you go. That is the basics of editing video in Camtasia. So if you like this video, it would really help me out if you would please subscribe to my channel. If you'd like to receive premium free videos from me not available on YouTube, here's where you can do it. If you'd like to watch more of my videos right now, here are a couple options for you.